Welcome to van build number 21. We are so excited to share this one with you guys. I know I may have said this before, but this might be my favorite one yet. There are so many features in this van that I love, like the Dometic powered awning, which is keeping us in the shade and nice and cool today. This is a 2022 170 extended 3500 4x4 Sprinter. That is a mouthful to say, but this thing is fully loaded. So many things that we're gonna share with you in this van tour. So let's go in and first talk about some of my favorite design features. Like I said, let's talk about some of my favorite design features of this van before we jump into all the fun stuff. First off, I said this in one of our last tours, but I think my favorite feature on this van is the ceiling. So this ceiling is a custom milled poplar ceiling that we stained and clear coated, and in between the slats of the poplar, you can see the black plywood that we first put up on the ceiling. One of the reasons why I love this ceiling so much is that because we had it custom milled, it actually spans the full ceiling. We were able to get this poplar milled in 16-foot lengths, so we don't have any seams, and it's just seamless and beautiful, and I just love it so much, and I know these clients are gonna love it as well. I also love their tile in their bathroom. I think it turned out beautifully. The white on white subway tile, white grout. It is kind of has this like texture to the subway, which makes it really fun and pretty and not just, you know, a plain subway tile. It has a little bit more to it. And then I love their like waterfall feature wall on the shower side that also covers their toilet bench. It just turned out really nice, and you guys will see the blue color in the bathroom ties in with their dresser fridge cabinet in the back. And I think that just brings in, again, that tying it in from the front to the back and just brings in a nice color into this van. So love that. Just wanted to mention that up front. Now let's jump into their kitchen. So we did a nice big farmhouse style sink and industrial black matte faucet. You guys have seen this probably a million times. If you watched any of our tours, you can, you know, hose off a child or a dog outside. Just a nice feature of these faucets. Lots of storage in this kitchen, tons of drawers, and then we did storage underneath the sink with a pull-out trash can and another storage cabinet for actually their little mixology bar bag that they're going to store in there. And we worked with the clients to make sure that that was going to fit in their cabinet, because that was one of their must-haves, was a little mixology spot for making cocktails. So that worked out really nice. And then I love their herringbone tile. Again, we did white here with the white grout, and it just ties in beautifully with their shower. You'll also notice in this kitchen we have a speaker at the end of the upper cabinet. There are speakers throughout this van. There's one here at the end of this upper. There is one above their closet area in the front. And then there are two in the back doors and a subwoofer in the U-bench area. So it did cut down on a little bit of their storage capabilities, but having an awesome stereo system was a priority for these clients. And I wish we could play some music on here, but YouTube would probably say it's copyright infringement if we play anything. But it sounds so amazing. It's unreal. Again, going in our next van. So it's incredible. Back towards the front of the van, we do have a full-length closet. Again, lots of storage for these clients. The passenger seat does swivel around, and as I mentioned, there is an Espar diesel heater, which is right underneath the passenger seat. They also have extra storage with our wooden headliner shelf. Great place to store extra window coverings and your fill-in piece for your bed, which we can talk about a little bit later. Back to our bathroom right here, we have the Nautilus retractable self-cleaning shower door with the stripes and no wrinkles. Beautiful install by Alex. Again, this just contains all of the water in your shower. And as I mentioned before, this was an upgraded bathroom with the full tile and grout. We only ever do tile now in 3500 Sprinter vans because they can take the extra weight. So this is a 3500, so these clients opted for the upgraded option to tile their bathroom. And like I said, it just turned out so beautifully. I love the way the blue ties in with their dresser cabinet, and just the white is so classic and clean looking. And then I love that we use the Schluter trim around the toilet box and at the ends of the walls to just have that clean line. It looks really sharp in the black, which ties in with their shower fixtures. All in all, gorgeous shower. I would shower in there. Oh, we do have our separate urine diverting toilet that has a tank underneath the van that is 5 gallons. The shower has a 15-gallon gray water tank. The sink over here has an 11-gallon gray water tank, so all these are independent. You would never have pee water coming up out of your shower or your sink or smelling anything like that. We really like to keep all of those things separate for that reason, so that you have independent systems. Tank treatment is also your best friend. It's actually been a while since we had a client request butcher block countertops. We have a couple of clients coming up that also want them. This was kind of our OG style in the beginning before we offered Corian solid surface countertops. These clients wanted the wood butcher block to match their ceiling and their floor, and I think it turned out beautifully with their white tile and white walls and all of that. It just looks really nice. Great way to break up all the white cabinetry. Because they wanted a larger fridge, we put their fridge on the driver's side. That gives us a little bit more depth with our dresser cabinet. Our kitchen, we keep a little bit more narrow to open up this walkway going through. So we had to move the fridge over to the driver's side to fit this 130-liter isotherm stainless fridge. It's just gorgeous. You can fit a whole lot of food in here. Has a small little freezer compartment, and then because this is the extended, we were able to still give them dresser storage. So they have 3 drawers that pull out that are full width and just give you a lot of extra storage space. The drawer at the bottom is a little less deep because we have the wheel well coming into this cabinet. And then we actually made this bed a little bit longer. We did 76 3/4. We typically only do 72 inches, but our client is taller, so we wanted to make sure we were giving him enough space to sleep. But this is our standard convertible table bed area where we have, this actually is not the Lagoon mount, but it is similar to the Lagoon mount. We found a company that makes a black version of the Lagoon, which was just really nice because in this van, they have black hardware, black Schluter trim, black shower fixtures and faucets. So we wanted to try to stay with that black theme. So we found this matte black pedestal, which works exactly like a Lagoon, can still swivel and spin and all the fun things. And this is our bamboo tabletops. Again, really durable and easy to keep clean. Ties in beautifully with their wood countertops already. And yeah, this is our bed area. We did install the 2 fixed glass windows back here in the back with our standard wood window frames. A lot of clients love these, and we put the steel strip on the back of these, so when you put your window cover in, it's completely black out, and you're not going to like lose your window cover in there or anything because it will magnetize to the back of the window frame. Again, just another really nice feature. This van came with the windows in the rear from the factory, but we did also install a T-vent window on the sliding door. So 3 extra windows for these clients. A lot of clients love the picture window look. So do I. It's gorgeous. Who doesn't like that? So it turned out really nice. Again, this is our beach house layout. This is typically what most clients love and go for because it is such a functional layout. You can keep this area in bed mode and just have it as a bed. Your electrical and plumbing are all housed back here, so there's not really any extra storage in these 2 benches. There's typically a little bit in this U bench area, but like I said, they have a subwoofer here, so not much room. We'll show you that from the rear. But then they have upper cabinets on both sides of the van moving all the way back. One thing, if you ever do a happy jack, is you lose all of this storage overhead and it really encloses this back area. So just, you know, pros and cons to each layout. But this gives you a lot of overhead storage. It is super easy to access because with these swiveling tables, you can just pop up in here and get to where you need to be. I think that's pretty much it. Now we'll go into the back area, all the exterior stuff, the electrical compartment in here with our servo touchscreen. We have 810 amp hours of Battleborn batteries in here, so, and our AC unit, which is super nice on these hotter days.
Sarah did a great job walking you guys through the inside and the layout. This is for a couple that they live somewhere in a warmer climate and will be enjoying beaches with this van. So we really wanted to keep that in mind, both on the interior and the exterior of the van, hence the awning. A lot of our typical exterior features are included on this van, like the truck bed spray over the plastic panels and all the way down, as well as on the roof with a color match, so that after we've cut in all the AC unit, vent fan, all of that, they won't have to worry about rust on the roof in the future before we put that roof rack down. It does have the Aluminess double loop low profile roof rack. It has 350 watts of solar on the roof, which is all mounted on the Aluminess adjustable solar mounts. Our Winegard cell phone Wi-Fi booster. Sarah mentioned the 12 volt Dometic RTX 2000 air conditioner, which, I mean, it wasn't really a standard feature for a long time, but now every client wants it, because with the battery banks we put in these vans, you might as well have the ability to stay cool wherever you are. This van is powered by 810 amp hours of Battleborn battery. That is 3 of their GC3 batteries. Along with that, we have a 3000 watt Victron inverter charger, so they can plug into shore power, charge that way. They've got the 350 watts of solar on the roof, and they also have 60 amps of alternator charging whenever they are driving. A few other add-on features on the exterior of this van. They wanted some upgraded tires. This is a 3500 Sprinter, so it is the dually. There are not a lot of dually upgraded wheels you can get, but Ultra Motorsports does make this. It's the Hunter 003 dually wheel for the Sprinter. This is a nice satin finish. I really like the way it looks. It's wrapped in this beautiful Falcon Wild Peak. And because we upgraded these all-terrain tires that are a little bit beefier, we did have to use the Van Compass wheel well modification, because if not, this tire would have been sitting about half an inch away from the wheel well. But we pushed that back, lots of clearance, no rubbing on the front or the back. Sarah did mention this is the 4x4, so it comes with the 2-inch lift, but we didn't do any additional lift. All we did was lift the butt to the 7,200 pound rear axle leaf spring, along with the Falcon adjustable shocks in the front and the rear. We upgraded the struts in the front, added bump stops, all with the Van Compass 4.0 kit. And it rides, it drives amazing. So if you have a Sprinter and you haven't upgraded your suspension, my priorities would be leaf spring, then shocks, then struts, bump stops. The leaf spring makes such a big difference, really gets this butt and helps level it out after we've added all of this weight into the back of this van. Now, when we come around to the back, we mentioned that they have a subwoofer in the back, so they lost a little bit of their storage space inside, but they do have the slim Aluminess storage box on the back with 2 1-up bike trays above that. Their spare, because it is oversized, is on the back, not only because it's oversized, but also because we added more fresh water in this van. So inside, because it's the dually, we could only do a 21 gallon over the wheel well tank. So underneath in the spare tire carrier, we have another 21 gallon freshwater tank. So this thing has 42 gallons of fresh water. 21 of it is 4-season compatible, and the other 21 they can use basically, you know, where they live all year round. When we come around to this side, more fun stuff, something we have not added onto a van before. These are the surf hooks and surf pole from Aluminess. They love to stand up paddleboard and surf, so these work great because they'll be able to throw their stand up paddleboards on the side, drive to the beach, hit the beach, and then put them on, strap them on, and head back home. Really cool feature that Aluminess offers, along with the ladder on the side. And then let's come around to the front. in addition to, again, this beautiful truck bed spray on the front bumper, we also have the CA tuned front bumper that we added on. So this is a really nice feature. It's going to help give you a little bit of protection at the front of the vehicle. And it also, one of my favorite things about it is that it does have a front hitch. So now if you want to get one of those cool hammock stands or something like that and put on the front, or if you want to haul more bikes, you can always put something on the front because you have a hitch option. And let's talk lighting. This has a full rigid kit light package. It has a 50-inch light bar up top. That thing really kicks on. And then it also has a full lighting package. We have the 2 flush mount rigid lights on the passenger side. Those work great because if they have their awning out and it's still dark, or if they have their awning out during the day and then it becomes dark, you can still kick those lights on and the lights are underneath the awning. They've got 1 light in the back, 2 lights on the driver's side, and all of those are controlled by the aux beam light switch, which is mounted in the headliner right between the driver and passenger seat up front. So really nice lighting kit. Lots of fun exterior features. Really proud of how the outside of this van turned out. It looks awesome. I'll watch my language because it's YouTube. And can't wait to drive it and deliver it to our clients. Now, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the back of the van behind the doors. So for window covers, privacy, and insulation, we have a full kit from the Wonderful. So the Wonderful was started by our good friend Scott, and we've done some fun road trips with him. He lived full-time in his van for years, so he again has the experience of what a van lifer needs. One of the things I love is that each part of the kit comes in its own carry bag. It's got a tie string on it as well. And then once you pull them out, they are super collapsible. Look how small these are. And then he also puts on these really cool Velcro straps on each one so that they are really easy to store. One of my favorite things. Again, designed by a van lifer for van lifers. And you can see those didn't want to come apart because they are super strong magnets. And these systems are designed to attach to the metal around the window. Making sure I got the right one. Just clips right up for blackout and some heat protection in this kind of weather. Thanks, Scott. Does a great job. You can check them out at thewonderful.co. Link is down below for our affiliate link program. And then for the window frames, Sarah talked about the custom window covers that we have made by Strawfoot. We love using those because they clip onto the back of the frame and super black out from the outside of the van looking in, which is what you want when you're a van lifer.
Alex thought I did such a good job back here last time. I get to do it again. So we have mentioned this before. One of my favorite design elements with clients is they get to choose kind of what feature we do here. And a lot of clients just want to tie it in with the ceiling. So that's what we did here. We gapped it just a little bit to mimic the ceiling design, but beautiful poplar. Poplar is such a nice wood. And I love the stain. This is the golden oak varathane, if anyone is curious out there. As I mentioned, there's a little bit of storage back here, but not too much because we have this beefy subwoofer back here. This is where they access their water fill for both water tanks. As Alex mentioned, there is the tank in this bench, and then there is a tank underneath the van. These clients are in San Diego, so they don't ever have to worry about water freezing. How lucky of them. So they won't really ever have to even drain the tank under the van. They'll be able to use it year-round. We did box in a little bit of the plumbing that runs in the back that goes from this side of the van to our sink side. And what else is back here? So yeah, this is our water fill. I'm not going to do the whole spiel this time because I did in one of our last tours. So if you're curious about our system and why we fill our water this way, be sure to check out our other tours where I explain this in depth. We have 2 of these, one for the main freshwater tank in the van, one for underneath, like I said, with a shutoff valve. It's a quick connect to your hose. And we try to make these connections outside of the van so that when water drips, because no matter when you're filling up with a hose, water will drip out of a hose. That way you're dripping outside of your van and not down the side of it or inside a bench or something like that. So really simple system, quick and easy. And then you can make sure this is on the off position so that you don't have water coming out of this line. Back here we also have an outdoor shower. Very simple system. This opens up. We don't have the hose, but it's around here somewhere. Plug your hose in, and it has a nice little shower head that you can hose off back here. Again, these clients are in San Diego, so that's going to be a really nice feature for them because they're going to be hitting the beach with this thing, and then you can, you know, wash off your sandy feet before you get in the van. So really simple system. For the shore power, we have a outlet underneath the van that they can plug into shore power. Again, we're not big fans on cutting anything on the outside of the van that we don't have to, because curved van, flat, flush mount kind of systems don't work well and don't look good. So again, I go into a spiel about that in another video. You'll have to check that out if you're curious. And we have the speakers in the upper door panels. These clients wanted the ability to open up these back doors when they're hanging out at the beach and play their music and hang out, be at a campsite, whatever they're planning on doing, and have music outside if they feel like it. So that's a really nice feature of having them in the upper door panels.
So one of the things we pride ourselves on in van building is making everything super functional, and we feel that way because we lived van life full time. When I have consult calls, I'm quick to tell people, not a great idea, and here's why. So we try to streamline that into every aspect of the van, but especially the things that the owner is going to be interacting with, like the electrical system. We try to have outlets placed in strategic places, like we have one over here in the tile backsplash that's a 20 amp outlet for running a Vitamix, a coffee pot, or an induction cooktop, because as you can see, there's no propane in this van. Over on this side above the dresser, we have more outlets. We have 110 outlets with USB-A, USB-C, 12-volt USB chargers that charge even when the inverter isn't turned on. And we always put the majority of our bed lights on one switch by the door, and then we keep one bed light, one overhead light that's above the bed on its own switch, independent, that we put back here, so that when you're in bed, you can easily turn on a light if you need to get up and move around the van. Now, when it comes to the inverter remote, when it comes to your 12-volt switches for things like your gray water ball valves or your Winegard cell phone Wi-Fi booster, a lot of builders, you're going to see all of that stuff like in a big panel on the wall. The reason that we don't do that is the majority of those components have lights on them, and there is nothing worse than laying down to go to bed and you have some LED shining right in your face. So we keep all of that right in this beautiful compartment. There's an airplane, so I had to stop talking. All of those things are featured in this compartment right here. So we have the Serbo GX touchscreen, which is a remote for the inverter. It'll turn the inverter charger on and off. It also will read the tank sensors for the gray water tank for the shower, toilet, and the kitchen. As well as it'll give you just a full breakdown of the electrical system, kind of gives you a flow chart of the power coming in either through shore power or solar, and then coming out through your AC and your DC loads. And then here we have a series of 12-volt switches. These are all labeled because they do have 2 freshwater tanks. Those tanks also have 12-volt ball valves on them, so there's an actuator that will open. So if they want to pull the water through the pump from their freshwater tank, from the main one that's inside the van, they just click this. It'll open up that actuator, and then the pump will start pulling from that tank. If that tank is empty and they want to pull from the under van tank, they just switch them. Super convenient, easy to use those systems. And then again, the 12-volt valves for the drain tanks. If we want to drain their toilet, we just open that up. That will open up, release, dump responsibly, obviously, and they don't have to get their hands dirty at all. We talked about the Winegard cell phone Wi-Fi booster. That is this switch right here. And again, all of this is tucked conveniently into this beautiful upper cabinet because we want things to be stowed away. One of the comments we get from our clients is that they do come to us because of our finish, and also they like that it feels homey. It doesn't look or necessarily feel like an RV in here, and we pride ourselves on that. And this one fits the bill. We're excited to deliver this one to our clients. And Vanville 21, like Sarah said, can't believe it. I think that's all the cool stuff I have to show you.
What's your favorite feature?
Favorite feature? Well, you stole the ceiling already.
You can say the same thing.
You know, I like this layout. It's just a little tweak on what we typically do in the beach house layout, but we optimized for what they needed. They wanted the 130-liter fridge, so putting it over here on the driver's side with this nice dresser, and they still have, you know, a good sized drawer system over here, the longer bed, it just has a really nice flow to it. It's honestly, for a taller person in a van, this is such a great layout. We're building it again. We've already started it for another client who's like 6'2". So I think we did so good with it, we're building it a second time. So Sarah says it's her favorite now, but a little bit different finishes on the next one. Again, these are all built specifically for clients. And so when it comes to the finishes and the design, we do our best to help coordinate and pass on our knowledge, but everything that is in here, from the door handles to the countertops to the flooring, these were all requested by the client, because building luxury camper vans, it is what they want. And that is why our clients come to us, because maybe they like something in another van, they like a couple things, but they don't like a couple things. And when you build a van with us, you get to literally pick everything, and that's really cool. So I think what I'm just, duh, I know what my favorite feature is. Sound system. Yeah, the stereo is awesome. Sarah talked about how it is tied into the main dash console. So when you start the vehicle, start Bluetoothing your music, it'll come on and play through every speaker, which in this van, when you're driving, Sprinter vans don't have the best sound system. It's a little tinny, it's all very low, but now you get this really nice sound coming right over your head from the back, which just sounds great. And there is a switch on the other side of this kitchen right by the bed that they can turn this on and just run it independent of the front system. So even when they're hanging out and the car isn't on, they can turn the power on there, Bluetooth directly to the controller and the mixer, and then and the amp, and start playing music. So the sound system is my favorite thing in this van, and that's why we're gonna probably do it in like every van we build from here on out. So
thank you so much for watching this tour. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Let us know what your favorite features are down in the comments section. There's also going to be a blog post link down below with links to a lot of the materials and products we used in this van, more details, more photos, so be sure to check that out on our website. And if you like this layout and want to get all of the specs for how tall and long are the benches, the kitchen, all of that, how big is the bathroom, how to frame a bathroom, all of those details are in our van layout guide, which will also be linked down below. If you're planning on building your own van, be sure to check it out, because we have a lot of resources in there for the DIYers out there. And you get access to our private Facebook community where you can connect with other people who are building their own vans, and you can ask questions to other people in the group and to us directly to just get other people's advice and feedback on your van build, which is very, very valuable. So we hope to see you inside there. Thank you again for watching our tour. 21 vans, how crazy is that? And like booked through 30 right now, so we're just feeling really grateful for all of you for supporting us over the years. And thanks for watching this tour. See you next time. Bye!